So good, so nice, so kind, I can't behave. I can't talk when he's around, staring me. Now you feel what I feel, but you are very shy. Now your eyes know I want you like that. Now you feel what I feel, but you are very shy. Now your eyes know I want you like that.
We're back.
We're back.
Do us back. All right. Preface for everybody: this is a live stream of the podcast, so you might see mess ups where we have to go back and kind of redo the take, so to speak. So just remember that as you're watching this, we do not actually edit the video portion. However, highly recommend if you want the more polished portion, head over to gamingmoment.com or agm.cx to be able to see all of the places that the podcast is hosted. Encourage you to like and subscribe, follow us on social media as always, and appreciate you guys. And we're just gonna dive right in. I'm gonna count us down here after I turn off this here music.
You don't hear my fan, right?
No, do you hear mine?
No.
Okay, cool. All right, in 3, 2, 1. What's up, Game Geeks and Tech Junkies? Welcome to A Gaming Moment, a weekly podcast about everything gaming and streaming related, including the news, tech, and software behind it. Be sure to follow us on TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram so you can engage with us, as well as find out when we're streaming the podcast and get a first listen before it goes out across all of your favorite podcasting platforms. I'm Dagan07, and with me, as always, is Wild Twins fan Wildy. How are you this week, man?
I still missing COVID. I'm missing the COVID. I'm missing the it's what seemed to be endless free time. And I have been struggling to get some gaming time in lately. I've not really had time to keep up too much on stuff lately. I've been struggling, but maybe our viewers or listeners are the same, and that's why they tune in. So let's shed some light on some topics this week. They actually made the script, so I'm kind of flying a little bit on the seat of my pants, although I've looked it over and I'm familiar with everything. But I think this week we're going to talk about two big topics: Doctor Disrespect. We're going to kind of brush on that a little bit and what's going on there. That still seems to be evolving. So we'll see where that's going. Another big story: Game Informer is gone and shuttered. I think, and if I recall correctly, Game Informers was here in Minnesota too, so that was a little hit.
Heartbreak on that one, but we'll get to that.
Yeah. And then we gotta just follow some banter items this week. GTA 6 gets a release window with an encouraging update. I gotta talk a little bit about some of our big political figures jumping in with the big name streamers and who and where, and kind of it's a little bit of that. We're not going to beat up that one too much because not everyone here is U.S., but we'll just cover that a little bit. We're also going to talk about Sony and Bungie, what's going on over there, Xbox Game Pass, what's happening there, and Turkey pulls the big old knee-jerk reaction again. So we'll talk about more of that in the podcast here. And Turkey and Roblox not getting along lately. So
yeah, let's just go ahead and dive right into the Doc drama. If you've been with the podcast any period of time, you know that we're pretty big into Doc. He whether you like him or not, he's a huge figurehead in the gaming and streaming industry. And just to kind of get everybody caught back up, let's rewind back to March 2020. Doc or Dr. Disrespect, his actual name is Guy Beam. He was riding high back in March of 2020. Twitch had just signed him to an exclusive multi-year deal worth millions, and he was a powerhouse on the platform. known for his high energy streams, larger than life persona. And for him, everything seemed perfect until it wasn't. And for me, this was peak streaming consumption. This was when I got into PUBG. Like, I literally got into PUBG watching him play, playing with Hambino, Shroud.
That's a couple. You're a couple of years. This is a couple of years after that, but
that was like peak like PUBG.
He's still
time,
in there,
yeah. So if we fast forward to the permaban that happened, so in June of 2020, and this is actually when we launched our first official episode of the podcast, we talked about this very topic. Out of the blue, apparently, Twitch permanently banned Dr. Disrespect. There was no clear reasons that were given, which left fans like myself and much of the community in a state of confusion. Even Dr. Disrespect himself was just baffled, posting on social media that he had no idea he was banned. It was like a storm had hit in the gaming world, and no one could figure out where it was coming from. Then in August 2021, Dr. Disrespect drops a bombshell. He's suing Twitch. Then a legal battle ensued, and it was intense. And despite all the drama, he ultimately settled with Twitch in March of 2022. But even with the settlement, the questions didn't go away, and his career had taken a huge hit. Now we jumped to April of this year.
And I believe, and covering with that, I believe settlement, Twitch paid him out.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like
for the contract he had, but it, like there was defamation and all that other stuff that was supposed to go into it, but I don't think he got paid out for that. He just got paid out for his contract.
Okay. All right. So jumping back then to April of 2024. Why don't you read that?
Yeah. So jumping into April of 2024, Dr. Disrespect is reflecting on his lost opportunities, missed endorsements with big names like Nike and Oakley. COD had dropped him. Quite a few of his major sponsors had dropped him. It's just a reminder of how far-reaching the consequences of the ban were, even before the latest news, which we'll get to. He hadn't fully recovered. Then comes June of this year, like literally, what was it, like June 1st, June 2nd, something like that. Things took a hugely darker turn when former Twitch employee Cody Connors revealed that Dr. Disrespect's ban was due to inappropriate messages with a minor, which this was a major escalation, and it threw everything Dr. Disrespect had said into question. Like, Doc was like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on.
No, we covered that Doc said he knew, but then Doc has came out and said that he was not able to talk about it. And now, because someone else had let the cat out of the bag and talked about it, now he gets to be able to defend himself and talk about it. So,
yeah. So in response to these allegations, Doc put out a statement trying to address the accusations. He admitted to some inappropriate conversations, but insisted there were no malicious intentions. However, his attempt at damage control seemed to raise more questions than answers. Ultimately, in my opinion, guys, he's a married dude with a kid. He shouldn't have been having inappropriate conversations with anyone, period. Like, what could be even construed as inappropriate conversations?
I mean, to be honest, we don't know what the conversations say yet. I don't know if we're gonna find out. I have a feeling we will. I actually have a feeling we will, because that's the only way he's ever going to be able to clear his name, and I think so.
Yeah, but the scandal continued to unravel with accusations from Lena Love about exploitation and further corroboration from Rolling Stone. And by June 29th, so literally, like, I don't know, 10, 12 days ago as we're recording this podcast, YouTube actually suspended his monetization, which that's huge for him. Like, that's a big chunk of his income at the end of the day. So that added another layer to this already complex situation. And since the response from all the allegations, Doc has been he's been on a bit of a break, with only a few cryptic messages posted since his departure. So one of those,
and those have went over real well.
Oh yeah. I mean, my wife's not a fan of Dr. Disrespect. He doesn't like the persona. He does so, and we already know that he was unfaithful to his wife. So these are things like to kind of take into account when you zoom out and look at the picture as a whole. he's not a wholesome guy. He's not somebody that people should
I
aspire to
mean,
be.
yes and no. I think I'm not gonna give him a pass here, but I think that you get a lot of power, and I think that corrupts people to 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 think things are different than they really are. And I'm not. I mean, I think it's there's a lot of people and a lot of power that have
You think you have immunities when you don't, you know,
yeah. I mean, you think
when
or
you
you
reach a
think you're
certain
bigger and more
status.
important, or yeah, or you kind of forget who you are for a moment, that you're just some guy.
Yeah.
And so I don't.
But apparently Doc
But
is yeah.
go ahead. I'm sorry.
But apparently Doc is gearing up for a comeback and has posted some intriguing new content that seems to suggest his earlier confession might have been bait, clickbait. Um, you know, let's go ahead and break it down. So Dr. Disrespect's latest Twitter header features a torn up version of his confession tweet. So he actually came out and confessed in a Twitter post, and the original tweet acknowledged the inappropriate conversations but claimed there were no illegal activities involved. Now, the imagery of the torn up tweet is submerged in what looks like bait. So it's hanging from a hook underneath a bobber, and the bobber has Dr. Disrespect's logo on it. So a lot of people are asking, is this Dr. Disrespect's way of saying the whole confession was a stunt? And is he positioning himself for a comeback with a new narrative? And adding to the
I
intrigue on this, go ahead.
that I have a hard time believing that it's just a stunt. Like the most poorly conceived idea for a stunt in humankind. But
Uh,
continue.
Poor taste at the least, right? Just awful. But adding to the intrigue here, he's been posting cryptic images, including the one of himself playing chess while suggesting that he's outsmarting everyone who's playing checkers. It's like he's trying to play this mind game with both his critics and his fans. But here's the kicker: he's not denying the accusations. He hasn't denied the accusations. He's come out and said, like, yeah, they're true, but instead he's acting like this whole thing was part of some giant master plan, as if he's trying to turn the fallout into a marketing strategy. And this approach is a bit unsettling. It's not just about what he's saying, it's about what he's not saying. His failure to address the real issues head on and his attempts to spin the narrative as a form of viral marketing make it feel like he's treating a serious scandal like a stunt, man. And it's absolutely gross. Like, when he came out and he did that quick live stream talking about how he was unfaithful with his wife, he came out, out of character. It was Guy Beam on the camera, green screen behind him. He was in tears. This just doesn't seem genuine at all. Like, and
Yeah,
to
and
be honest, he's not remorseful.
and he was fairly quick to do that. So I don't know. Again, we don't know the context of things. You know what I mean? Like, I'm wondering if these things where the things got a little bit racy or whatever with this person, if they weren't things that were instigated by him, if they were
Well,
things said to him, and stuff like that, and it's like, so I mean, we don't know, and he's done a
the,
really poor job. Like, like, this is not game territory. This is not persona territory. This is where you need to fucking hang up the Dr. Disrespect outfit and the fucking mustache and all the sunglasses, and sit down and talk like a fucking real human being, and take this challenge on. And instead he's playing like, I don't think he's playing chess with fucking Twitter, because Twitter's fucking eating him alive right now, for the most part, and it's just like, no one's looking at this like a persona thing, like a game, and like he's the doc master again. I think he's forgetting who the fuck he is. He's just a guy that plays video games, and that's what people see him as, right? My
yeah.
mom, my dad, whoever, my wife doesn't know the persona of Dr. Disrespect. They just look at him, he's a fucking guy. And if he's a guy in a costume saying, "Ha, I'm playing a fucking game of." He's doing a shit job of taking this on. So I don't know what exactly is going to happen here. Um, I kind of don't even want to cover it because honestly, it's a fucking terrible. It's a terrible story. The way it's laying out as of right now. Um, I don't know if there's a good way to spin what he did. I
No,
don't
there's not.
know. We don't even know what exactly he said, but it looks it's a hard spin for me right now to say anything positive
Well,
about
it
his
was
character.
damning. It was damning enough for him to get permabanned by Twitch, uh,
And
and
basically
lose,
banned by YouTube now.
and yeah,
You know,
pretty much banned by YouTube from the monetization. Um, lose most of his sponsorships. He quote unquote stepped out of Midnight Society when these allegations came out back at the beginning of June. So I mean, he's lost a lot. Like his just the brand reputation. Just talking from a marketing standpoint, the brand reputation is destroyed. The Doc brand reputation is just destroyed. But the issue is, and I'm going to use a quote from politics here. You know, he's too big. He's too big. He's got a cult like following, essentially. So he still has a lot that he can come back to and build. You know, has a starting point to build from. But I mean, he's not going to be building from the female demographic, and then parents are going to be a little bit more hesitant to let their children watch him. So
yeah, it's yeah, like I say, it's hard to know. I think the I think the actual text and stuff has to come out there. But we do have to consider too some of which I mean he's already uh confessed to parts of it, but let's consider too that
the other
if Twitch
party,
had this knowledge, right, they have to turn that knowledge. They have to share that. They are obligated to share that with law enforcement.
yeah, because
And
I think
so we
the
can say
allegations were
that
as with a minor, right? The original
right. So we
allegations were
can
with a
say
minor.
that law enforcement has seen whatever it is that he had to say or whatever went on there, and they have chose not um, to file or continue or charge him with
Mhm.
anything. So I mean, there's a little part of saying, yeah, he was inappropriate, and that probably shows you what his character is and stuff like that. Um, is it illegal? Is it like we're shooting from the hip? I'm gonna say maybe not, because you think that there's already groups that have seen this that have the power to
Yeah,
charge him or whatever. So
because like to
that
be
just so that complicates it. We I can say we're probably fairly confident. He wasn't you know following through
yeah,
on anything.
because I
So
mean to be fair, like something as simple as like if you're streaming on Twitch and say you have like an AR-15 in the background, like they'll ban you for that because they're like they can get you for promoting firearms and stuff, which is against their TOS. So I mean, they're super finicky. We've talked about this multiple times. Like they're super finicky and uh really what's the word I'm looking for?
consistent.
Yeah, they're really inconsistent with their bans and how they hand them out and stuff. So
So
I don't know, but
anyways, we've kind of
the
beat it, but
yeah it's still developing. I'm sure we're gonna see more stuff come out over the coming weeks. You know, he's rumored to be making a comeback at some point, so you know we'll probably hear something from there. He'll probably have his first stream back. He'll probably have something to say about it, and we'll cover that when when that happens. But moving on to
like I said, we've covered too much of Doc in the past and to not cover this, so it's got to
yeah.
be. All right, sorry.
So
Moving on.
yeah. So moving on to some sad news in the gaming industry. Wild, I don't know how tied to Game Informer you were, but man, that
None.
was yeah. I've had Game Informer magazine since I was like 10. Like I started getting Game Informer magazines since I was like 10. So like almost 25 years I've been collecting these bitches. And the fact that GameStop has officially shut down Game Informer, which it's marking the end of the longest running gaming magazine in the U.S. Game Informer began in 1991, and it was a key player in gaming journalism. So like this was back before G4 TV and all that stuff. And they offered in-depth coverage, exclusive interviews, and reviews for over 3 decades. So the sudden closure that was announced during a meeting with GameStop's VP of Human Resources led to immediate layoffs of the entire staff and the removal of the magazine's website. That is like just thinking about those guys and the way that, like it was just like pull the plug, boo, no defibrillator.
I mean, the writing had to be on the wall. I
Well, I
mean,
mean,
the magazine subscription in this country has to be at probably an all-time low, I would feel.
fair.
With the internet and what can't you find on Reddit these days? I think it was a matter of time, but that
It
doesn't
still
make
sucks
it any
though.
less powerful or less sucky or less dramatic. So it's always bad to see your heroes fall.
Yeah, and the last physical issue is going to be featuring Dragon Age: The Veilguard. So I would collect it. I would if you're able to get your hands on it. Like, there's going to be gamers who are going to look at these things as collectibles. Because I mean, for me, one of the most iconic things about the magazine was its covers. They always had some of the best artistic covers in the gaming magazine publishing realm. Like they were really, really good. But as Wild said, the abrupt end of Game Informer reflects the broader challenges within GameStop itself. GameStop is struggling, and they had acquired the magazine and its predecessor, FuncoLand, back in 2000. The magazine had thrived on a strong subscriber base. It was also linked to GameStop's rewards program. That's how I had it for so long. But like I said, we've seen GameStop floundering. I mean, they had the one pop with the whole stock. They were gonna say fuck you to the venture capitalists and stuff that were betting against them. But that was like one pop, and then they went right back. Came right back down to earth. But it not only erases a significant archive of gaming journalism, but it highlights the broader decline of traditional print media, not just in the gaming industry, but in every industry, in the news industry. I mean, really, honestly, the only people. Do you know anybody that has a magazine subscription that's not a business?
I technically we have one, but
Oh, okay, fair.
but partly, I'm gonna say we have two actual print subscriptions. One is for the Minneapolis St. Paul magazine, and they do like a lot of the like the top
Local foodie
restaurants of
stuff,
the
yeah.
year. Yeah, local foodie stuff and
For your
just
hunger
local
inspired.
stuff and stuff. So part of that too, I think with that we get online content
Mm-hmm.
too. And then the other one I have is outdoor news, which is hunting and fishing in Minnesota. And quite honestly, it's a great magazine. But again, they have an online version, and I get the paper because it's kind of nice to sit down with, and it is kind of just nice to sit down and not be on a screen and read some of the stuff. But as I get older, every now and then I'll catch myself as I want to go pinch to zoom in to read something. It's actual print media, but it's like God, like this that that reaction, like, oh, I can't quite see that now. My brain just thinks, oh, you can just zoom in on that, So I think print is definitely dying.
And it's
And it's
unfortunate
hard.
because it's an art form, right? Like
Yeah,
it's not it's
and
print
it's
media,
probably
graphic
got
designers, and everything.
it's probably got a better history retention than data. Who knows on my hard drive that's sitting in the closet for the
Oh,
last
absolutely.
15 years. What's the chance you're gonna open that up in 100 years and read that? I don't know.
Yeah,
Slim.
and it's something that can't go back and be altered. Like if you're fact checking something,
Yeah.
websites can go back and be altered to fit a narrative. So, yeah, I get
I
it.
mean, there's definitely a place for media, and so it's a big loss for the industry as a whole. So, but I can't say I'm surprised.
Yeah. So, guys, unlock the potential of your content with cutlabs.ai. This powerful free AI tool effortlessly. So, guys, unlock the potential of your content with cutlabs.ai. This powerful free AI tool effortlessly. I can't get effortlessly. There we go. Effortlessly. Okay, there we go. So, guys, unlock the potential of your content with cutlabs.ai. This powerful free AI tool effortlessly. I can't get that out. Effortlessly. There we go.
Okay.
I got it. I'm going to get through it.
Without effort.
Yeah, without
I mean,
I'm going to go one more time. I'm going to try effortlessly without one more time. I think it's effortlessly transforms. I think that's throwing me off. Unlock the potential of your content with cutlabs.ai. This powerful free AI tool effortlessly transforms your long-form videos into engaging short clips. Whether it's a podcast, stream, or vlog, cutlabs.ai detects those golden moments, whether they're funny, hype, or epic, and turns them into shareable vertical clips with viral potential. Easily add AI-generated titles, timestamps, and more. Plus, with support for top games and auto-clipping features, you can capture your best moments without lifting a finger. Ready to make your videos pop? Visit cutlabs.ai or click the link in the show notes today. Don't miss out on making every moment memorable. And something that's not in that ad, I just want to point this out because I didn't put this in the last episode.
Yep.
When you're recording or you're streaming, you can say clip that like I just did here, and it will automatically detect that you said that, and it will create a clip of that moment. So think of it as like the button on your Stream Deck for Twitch to create the clip. It's
Yeah,
really
or having
cool,
to
man.
scream out to your stream to have
Somebody clip it! Somebody clip it! So while something in the gaming industry that's been kind of hanging on everybody's kind of been hanging on for like the last 10 years, 12 years.
Yep.
Grand Theft Auto 6 release window gets an encouraging update.
Yeah, so it's the fall of 2025. They're projecting a Grand Theft Auto 6 release. So that's maintaining the kind of current launch window. It's pretty big. That's got to be huge news. Again, I don't know. Grand Theft Auto is a weird thing for me. Like I was there when it first came out. Like I remember hearing of the first Grand Theft Auto and trying to get it to play on my old ass computer and
The 2D one, right? It was it's like a flat map thing.
Yeah, it was and it's like it raised eyebrows then, but it was nothing like it is now. And but huge entertainment product. We talked about that in GTA 5 being like the single largest entertainment profit or whatever.
Yeah, because I mean, people just keep buying the shit
that.
For it, man. They just keep buying the shit,
buying,
and it's the same game that's been for 12 years. Without like, it might have some like graphics updates from time to time, but
yeah,
I mean, the same storyline, like different heists. I think they change up the heists a little bit, but the initial trailer that dropped back in December of 2023 has already made waves by confirming that the game will take place in Vice City and feature a female protagonist, which is different from their other games. And this trailer has generated a lot of buzz and set high expectations for the game. So as we await the next trailer, fans are speculating about its release. While there's no official word yet, it might drop around major events like rumored September PlayStation Showcase or the Game Awards in December. So it could also come out independently of these events, but I could see them tying it to one of these major gaming conferences. I think the Game Awards would be really cool, but it is a PlayStation game, so I could see it. Well, it's also on PC, so I could see it coming out around the Game Awards, or I could see it coming around PlayStation. I mean, a lot of times when people think PlayStation, they think GTA because of their epic music. But There is also some cautious optimism among fans. Take-Two is currently sticking to the fall of 2025 release date. Rockstar Games has a history of delaying its titles, so a push to 2026 wouldn't be out of the question. I mean, they've been pushing it for like 7 or 8 years already, so
yeah.
Whatever. But looking forward to that. I think I actually want to play that one. Like I played 5 and I really enjoyed it. I like the storyline a lot.
I mean, I'll probably buy it. I'll probably play it some. It's just not on the radar really for me. Again, I don't like the open world games. Aren't just not doing it for me right now.
So we're gonna touch on this. I'm gonna caveat this. We're gonna touch on this. Because we were hesitant to bring this in, but it's really like some top streamers, but it's also political. So we're gonna try to leave our political views out of it and look at it strictly from a streaming entertainment standpoint. But Kamala Harris. Well, I'm gonna start off with Aiden Ross. Aiden Ross actually had a live stream Q&A session with President Trump, and I thought, I didn't watch it, but I'm fascinated to see like how these politicians are trying to reach like the Gen X or the Gen Z, the Gen A generations, and trying to get their votes. Like, do you really care about getting online with a gamer, like sitting on their stream and being questioned by somebody who knows jack shit about politics, who their reach is a bunch of 16, maybe 18, maybe 24-year-olds? Can we have our space, man? That's all I'm asking.
I don't know. I mean, I think it's. I'm not surprised with it. I think they're trying to get people out to vote. Still an overwhelming percentage of people in this country don't vote, and regardless of who you pick or your views or whatever, you should go out and vote. So your voice is heard and is counted. Maybe your candidate doesn't win, but you still need to do your part and vote. And I think so it's interesting to see them doing this. I don't know that we've had this happen before. We've had candidates. We talked about AOC being on stream before.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure there's many others that have been on stream. But this is the first time we've seen presidential candidates on stream. So
And
maybe that's a thing going forward. I don't know.
Potentially.
Maybe the next candidate will do a yearly, monthly, whatever it is, stream on a streaming platform to reach out to people. Maybe
I could see Vivek Ramaswamy doing something like that. Like, he's young enough, he understands the demographic enough, but he's also well spoken and pretty articulate. Again, not political views. I'm just looking at him as a person. I could see him taking advantage of that. But the thing that was crazy to me is like Aiden Ross gave Trump a Cybertruck, a Rolex, and access to basically a heavy male audience. Like Aiden Ross's demographic is like, he's 23, right? And he has a huge male following, not so much on the female side. But I'm like, bro, you gave the guy who's worth $8 billion a Cybertruck and a Rolex. He probably just threw that Rolex in his box with his other 65,000 Rolexes that he owns, and the Cybertruck that's probably never gonna leave the fucking the garage because he won't know how to charge the bitch. So, I don't know. I see it. I see it more. I see it benefiting Aiden Ross more than I'd see it benefiting Trump. At the end of the day.
Probably true. So, anyways, just an interesting story we wanted to cover. Just actual political presidential candidates for the U.S.
Oh, that's
streaming,
not all wild. Earlier this week, Kai Cenat got reached out to by the Harris campaign, and Kai Cenat's like, I am not having you on my stream. I am not having politics get put on my stream, because even in his like channel rules, like he's like, we're not going to talk politics. Why would I bring? He's like, bro, why would I bring a politician? And especially you, because apparently he doesn't agree with her viewpoints anyway. That they're just trying to get to him because he's a young African American male influencer. You know, I mean, she had to have Megan Thee Stallion come out at her rally, which people showed up and, you know, pretty much allegedly had people leaving right after that, after the concert portion while she was speaking. So, you know, she's trying to target that demographic, but, you know, I don't think that demographic is I don't think it's resonating with that demographic, if you will. Again, try not to be too political here. I'm trying to choose my words carefully.
Anyway, so we'll cover that. We'll kind of just keep a vibe on that, and move on to Bungie. Had some layoffs. The second round of layoffs now since Sony's taken over, and they laid off approximately 220 staff members, about 17% of the workforce.
Of Bungie's workforce, not Sony as a whole, but 17% of the studio's workforce. And it's so shitty how like we talked about how Nintendo takes care of their employees. Like even when they're having downtime, they don't let employees go unless they absolutely have to, because they have so much cash in the bank.
Sony's hurting.
Well, Sony's not hurting, but they need to take a note from Nintendo CEO, because the whole corporate jargon for this was they're enhancing the efficiency of the business and they're optimizing their portfolio. Fuck out of here. You bought an okay studio, but you didn't give them any funding to go out and build great games. You thought they were just gonna like coast on Destiny and Destiny 2 for 10 years. Get out of here, bro.
They got a game marathon or something coming up, and gosh, the reviews, the initial sentiment on that not going well. Extraction style shooter. I'm getting a little bit tired of saying that already. I don't know if the extraction style shooters are gonna be that big of a market, or you know, they're just trying to make it happen. I don't know. Like there's a couple extraction style shooter games out there now that aren't doing terribly well. Tarkov's doing okay, but COD's DMZ couldn't make it.
No,
you know, and it's so.
DMZ was only good to level shit up.
Battlefield had that version too, right? I think they just dropped that and scrapped that. I can't even remember, that was so insignificant.
Yeah,
but Battlefield had that one too.
I think they had it in the beta, and then it got such poor reviews, poor feedback that they scrapped it from the actual launch.
I mean, and then I got, you know, we covered Incursion Red River.
Yeah, haven't heard anything from that.
Then we got I've heard a little bit on the Discord. That we have gosh, what are the other ones? Arena Breakout is another one, and there's another one too that I'm trying to think of. But they're not.
Was it Hunt Showdown?
Hunt Showdown's effectively a extraction shooter. Yeah, I mean, I actually do own that and never played it because I haven't one to play with. So join me. Let's play it. I don't know. You know, it's not really a poppin', you know, area. I guess I feel like Destiny's filled a different role, a better role in gaming than trying to add another extraction shooter. So
yeah,
I don't know. Maybe that's the writing on the wall that marathons are going to suck. Too, they're cutting people before they put the game out. Although according to their website, they're still hiring. So whatever that means.
Well, that's. I'm not going to get into that because the whole tech industry right now is just dog shit.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw Cisco releasing a bunch of people. We're not going to get into this, but like the tech industry is kind of in a bad way right now.
It's
But
floundering. Yeah.
yeah, the response from Sony's leadership, particularly from Hiroki Tataki, has been focused on cost management and structural optimization. However, the move has left many affected employees feeling blindsided, as some learned that their layoffs were only through public announcements. Like, you got to treat your employees better, man. Like they're gonna be like the word. Well, I guess you're a big enough brand. People are gonna be like, "Ooh, if I have that on my resume." But anyway, the industry's reaction, including comments from FPS veteran John Romero, highlights the gravity of these changes and the unsettling trend of massive layoffs within the gaming sector. Because I mean, we've seen a ton of like Microsoft is laying off a ton of people, or has laid off a ton of people. Which, speaking of Microsoft and laying off, Xbox Game Pass,
Yep.
you're going to pay more for it, guys. And they've also changed the tiers. So Microsoft is raising the price of its Xbox Game Pass subscription service across several tiers. So starting September 12th, the Ultimate plan will increase by $3 a month from $16.99 to $19.99 in the U.S.
Which is their top tier plan.
Yeah, it's their top tier plan. Then they're coming out with this core tier, which will see a bump from $59.99 annually to $69.99 annually. There's a new standard tier that will be introduced, offering more features than core but fewer than ultimate for PC users, and the monthly rate will rise from $9.99 to $11.99. And in addition to these price hikes, Microsoft is restricting day one game releases to the most expensive Ultimate tier. So you have to have Xbox Game Pass Ultimate if you want day one game releases on Xbox Game Pass. And that will also include your EA Play membership, cloud gaming on multiple devices, and additional perks. While the core plan will offer access to just over 25 titles, while the ultimate and standard plans will include hundreds of games. So the core plan is like you're renting, like, I don't know. It's not even worth it for 25
core plan
titles.
I think the core plan is, I'm going to say the core plan's on the way out. The core plan basically, basically the difference is between like Xbox Live Gold, you get 2 free games a month. The core plan instead gives you 25-ish games to play a month instead of 2 free games. Offers all the same benefits. I think it's just a holdover. Like there's some people that
it's
are
like a
on
grandfathered. It's like a grandfathered type thing.
Yeah, and they're just kind of, it's gonna wither away till it dies, kind of type thing. And I don't know why you'd even be on it. You might as well pay the $2 and get the hundreds of games. So I don't know. Yeah, I mean, change is gonna happen. They haven't been too aggressive on the pricing.
It's
of Game
still
Pass over the years. It's been going up. It's continued to go up.
Well, that's inflation though.
Now Black Ops 3 being on Game Pass, that's a big move. That's come with some major consequences.
Yeah.
And but then they're talking about Black Ops 6 being on Game Pass. That might
day
make
one.
it worth it for some,
day one.
yeah, for
like,
some people. So
it'll be worth it for me. Like if I can get it on Game Pass on my PC, and I don't have to go through Steam or Blizzard or anything to get it, I'm down. I still didn't buy. What are we on? Modern Warfare 3.
Well, it's available now. You can play it now if you have Game Pass.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So.
Oh, well, damn! I need to
No more
get on
excuses.
that. Okay, fair. I failed you guys. My apologies.
You've been busy, so I don't fault you in not buying it.
Fair
because
enough.
You've been busy. So and Warzone's free, and you can play Warzone. So whatever.
Yeah, that's what I usually play, but I play multiplayer to level up the guns. But
you pretty much play multiplayer when I drag you into. I don't want to play Warzone and come help me out search.
That and I do enjoy some good TDM matches, just shitting on kids because I can shit on kids in TDM. Less cheaters in multiplayer than there are in Warzone. So
it gets a little more expensive. Still offers fairly good value if if you want a big variety of games, it's probably a good idea for you. My current membership is I've actually lapsed it at this time. I do not have an active Game Pass because we have not really been using it.
For shame.
So I might pick. It's one of those I might pick up to play a game or two. Like I was playing Power Washing Simulator,
There you go.
and the
Well, you're
real
playing that in
reason is
VR though. You're playing that in VR though, aren't you?
I
Like
own it for VR, so
Okay.
yeah, it's still fun, but it's kind of good for that if you want to play a game, and it's almost like renting a game without having to buy it with the
Mhm.
full buy-in price. So that's kind of how I look at it for us in our use. And then
And then real quick, guys. Or go ahead, Wild.
go ahead. I was gonna move on, but
Yeah. No, I was gonna say. I was gonna move on as well. So.
okay. And then last story we got for the banter this week. We are just gonna kind of talking about Turkey, and Turkey bans Roblox over child exploitation concerns. Right? Yeah, I mean that's probably gaming. As a parent, that's something you have to be aware of, and stuff like that. But it just sounds like Turkey just, and I guess they got a little history of doing this. They'll just pull the plug on it. And a couple weeks ago, they pulled the plug on Instagram. Out of all things, like you can argue Roblox, but Instagram, Jesus, man. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, Roblox came back and they responded by seeking clarification from the authorities and stressing its commitment to safety. I mean, it is a kids game, but the ban has sparked criticism from some Turkish figures who argue that it reflects a lack of understanding of modern digital platforms. But
Yep.
I mean, I think you have to understand some of these countries, they still are very old school, and there potentially is some racy things on Roblox. Roblox is kind of like an open development environment. Like people can put their own mods in public where little kids can easily access without any kind of age verification or anything like that. Like none of that stuff is required. So
There's some age verification within Roblox. Like I don't think my son, he wants his ID, and he's 16, so he's old enough. He wants his ID because apparently you can't have voice chat in Roblox without like photo verification of his age or something.
that's really weird because my two younger kids play like my middle son will play Roblox and he's got in-game chat and he
But
hasn't had to
is he on PC though, or is he on Xbox? Or
he's on
console?
he's on his tablet. He's on his Amazon
Yeah.
Kindle tablet.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I don't know the full story behind it, but I mean, Roblox got some stuff in place, but
Obviously
I don't know.
obviously it's not very good because a lot of little kids do play it, so hence like the issues related to sexual content and pedophilia.
Yeah.
And that's why a lot of like I can see it. Is it a little rash potentially, but as a parent I can see it.
Yeah, right. I mean, I can understand the reasoning, but it's like they just out of nowhere, like, did they reach out to Roblox? Have they talked about it? Have they said what they would rather see? How is it that every other country in the world allows it, but just they don't? Like, you know what I mean? Kind of like, I don't know. It seems like a knee jerk reaction, and to do that as a country, um, it's got reaching effects, and maybe not as much Roblox, but I'm sure there could have been developers
Mm-hmm.
in Turkey, which there more than likely
Oh
was,
yeah,
and people making money off of Roblox on Roblox.
Roblox.
Um,
They're
right,
making
Roblox. So
Robux on
yeah,
Roblox.
Robux on Roblox. So little stuff like that. So it's like, it's like, and then same thing with absolutely with Instagram. That took money out of people's pocket in Instagram. I don't
Yeah,
have
the
to look that up
influencers.
to know that. Yeah, so it's like you can't. If there's people that's their job, their income, their life, their livelihood, you can't. I mean, I don't know what the right thing is, but I don't think you can just shut it off tomorrow and be like, oh no, we're not doing this anymore. I don't know. Like, was there a direct attack? Was there all of a sudden a heightened level of attacks on this that they felt the need to do this? I don't believe so.
It's
You know,
rough in
so
these streets.
yeah, so to me it's a little bit of the old world coming out into the modern world, and I mean obviously there's got to be a blend of each going forward, but just kind of a wild story.
Yep. And just a couple quick follow-ups, super fast follow-ups. Wild, I got my desk in. I got my
I know.
Secret Labs Magnus Pro XL, and I just got it finished, getting it put up right before we started recording the podcast.
I mean,
And
it's
it
so
is
fresh. It's
beautiful.
not even on Instagram yet, but it will
Not
be by
even,
the time
yeah.
you see this.
Yeah.
By the time you see or hear the podcast, it will be.
Absolutely. Shout out to my next door neighbor, Big Ben, helping me out put this thing together. He wanted to nerd out with me because he wanted to do the cable management. Yeah. But shout out to him for coming over and helping me put this heavy mofo together.
Sometimes you just need that friend that doesn't care about your shit as much as you do to help you out.
No, he cares. He cares about my shit more than I do.
Yeah.
Like he's like I'm super anal about cable management. And then the second follow up, I finally ordered my prompter from Elgato, so the Elgato teleprompter. Just waiting on it to arrive, and I'm super stoked to kind of get that in. I don't know where I'm going to put my light because I have it sitting on top of my camera, but they have a cold shoe mount that I can probably attach this bitch to and call it a day.
Turn up the RGB on the new desk.
Yeah, I thought it was on, but it's not on right now, and I gotta dig for the little controller, and then I gotta set up the app on my phone.
Been cable managed to the pit.
Yes, been cable managed to the pit of cables, the pit of endless cables. So, guys, don't miss out on all the fun. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram to join in on the conversation and catch a sneak peek of our latest episodes before they hit all major podcasting platforms. Plus, stay in the loop for when we're streaming our podcast live so you can be there first to tune in. Trust us, you won't want to miss a minute of the action. So, Wild, I took some liberties here, some creative liberties, and pulled out a couple posts. I got one from Instagram and one from Twitter. And I was scrolling through Instagram earlier this week, and I saw this 5-year-old kid basically rolling your dream setup. Like, it moves a little bit, like it's not full motion, but it moves enough to be.
That's probably 6-axis. That is not just your average. That's a hell of a setup
for a 5-year-old dude. Yeah. And he's legit, like, he's swinging it, man. Like, he's rocking the clutch, he's rocking the gas, he's rocking the e-brake. Like, he's killing it, man.
He's got full movement. He's got a direct drive wheel that's obviously turned down because the kid's 5 and it would rip his arms off otherwise. Gosh, he's got multiple displays. He's got wind simulation. He's got what's that little what do you call that? Like a starter panel. I mean, this thing it's decked out, customized. That looks like a custom shifter. I don't know what kind of shifter that is. But I mean, this isn't just your average setter. Triple screens. It's got the bezel-less mounts on it. This thing is tricked out, and this kid he's driving. He's absolutely pedaling it.
And you can't forget the red and yellow ducky slides sitting right next to his seat on the thing, not moving. But I saw that and I'm like, I know how much work you've been putting into your rig. You talked about it last week, how much work you've been putting into your sim rig, and I'm like, man, this 5-year-old is just crushing the sim rig game. He's gonna be the next what is it, Gran Turismo movie guy.
Yeah, I got the same wind simulator tubes he's got there too, but I don't have mine installed yet. It's been a bad week for getting anything done. I've just been super busy. So
yeah, your work schedule's pretty nuts right now.
It's honestly a killer little thing. So we'll share that in the post of Instagram or with the podcast, and then just another one here on.
Yeah, so I found this. I didn't even hear about this. But essentially, TikTok struck a deal, and it's not just TikTok; it's a couple other platforms too. Um, but TikTok struck a deal with Amazon that will allow customers to buy products from Amazon on TikTok. So now you're like competing with Temu and TikTok Shop and all that. You're gonna get all this crap on your TikTok feed.
Remember though, we covered a while back that Amazon was looking to do a TikTok like feed. So is this their solution, or
Just
is
integrate,
this
just
just
integrate straight with
is this
TikTok.
just another or is this just another avenue? And
I
they're still
think that,
going to do a TikTok feed. I
I
mean,
don't know.
what I'm saying, either way, I'm saying this is clear as day. TikTok is TikTok is TikTok is the only platform that is discoverable at the moment.
Yeah.
It's unreal. It works though. And we have a friend that he's been selling on TikTok, and they've been doing well. And
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
there's no other platform this would have worked on than TikTok. He's a firm believer in that, but he's doing really well. And him and his wife, and they make a great product. And I'm not going to go fully on into that because I haven't discussed that with him. But we'll probably reach out to him, and maybe we'll share that in the future what they're doing, what they're selling, and maybe he wants to come talk about it. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll figure
But
that out.
yeah.
But
So
I thought
that's
I just thought it was interesting. Like I could see Amazon doing like a TikTok style feed, but of reviews, like featured products or something like that. I could see that. So guys, as always, that if you want to hit us up on social media, you can always check out agm.cx. We reshare these, we reshare, retweet, whatever the platform's version of resharing the content is. We usually do that. But I wanted to get into some questions of the week, and with Dr. Disrespect's recent controversies and cryptic messages hinting at a potential comeback, how do you think his return might impact the streaming community? And we want to hear from you. We're going to tell you our answers, but we definitely want to hear from you on social. Tag us in a TikTok video, a YouTube short, any social media channel. Yeah, DM
join
us.
the Discord and type a message,
agm.cx.
join the Discord and chat with us in person. Drop into our streams. Neither one of us have been streaming a whole lot, but I aspire to get a stream up or two maybe later this week. So
Yeah, I'm going to try to do some myself.
I want to try some multi-streaming plugin that's new.
Yeah, I think I want to do the same.
Yeah, like I said, I think we talked a little bit about this. I think he's doing a terrible job of dealing with it right now.
Mm-hmm.
He needs to fucking pull the fucking mask off and the costume off and fucking deal with it like a man. And I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what comes of it. But it's not looking good, and he's not playing it well in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you, and I do believe the latest actions, like from a marketing standpoint, I think it's a huge misstep. I think he's gonna. I think it could have been. I think it could be handled better, but that's not Doc's. And I'm talking Doc. I'm not talking. And I guess in an essence, extends out to Guy Beam and his team. I think it's bad taste at the end of the day. So, but share your thoughts on the subject, guys. I'd love to hear that. And then just one more question here, Wild. With Game Informer's closing, marking the end of an era for gaming magazines, what do you think the loss of such an iconic publication means for the future of gaming journalism? Are we looking at? We're obviously going to be looking at physical, missing out on physical magazines. Like I said, I love the physical magazines for the artwork. But do you think we're going to have? Are we going to see a decline in digital journalism for gaming as well? Or do you think we're going to stay the same or have more?
I think digital is the way forward. I think that's just how it's going to be. No cost in offices. There's no cost in printing. There's no cost in overhead and having mailing things out and trying to get the post office to actually deliver your stuff. And, anyone can click on a web page and do it. But I think their struggle, if they go digital, their struggle is going to be making money.
The struggle is
Like,
getting found.
yeah, getting found, making money. Like I'll tell you right now, I don't subscribe to any news service. I don't pay for the New York's time. I will not. I can find that information out without them. I may not find their article, but you know, I don't know. It's gonna be a struggle, and everyone needs to make their money to pay their people to do their things. But it's gonna be tough for the journalism industry to make money and stay actual true journalists and impartial,
Mm-hmm.
not based on their money. But YouTubers do it. Linus Tech Tips, Gamers Nexus, Gamers Unboxed, all those people, Jay's 2 cents. I think a lot of those people have shown that they are, um, whatever you believe. I believe their opinions can't really be bought. So I think if they can exist in a market where they can have opinion and get paid for it and not be bought, then I think they'll be fine. But that's a tough space to live in.
Yeah, absolutely. So, guys, thanks for tuning in. Today, we unraveled the latest twists in the Dr. Disrespect drama, and we reflected on the end of an era with Game Informer's closure. These stories highlight how rapidly the gaming landscape is changing and evolving. So, we urge you to not forget to hit that like and subscribe button so you can never miss an episode. And if you want to take your support to the next level, head on over to our Patreon page to help us keep the podcast going strong. Also, show off your love for a gaming moment by checking out our timeless classic merch at merch.agamingmoment.com. Also, if you need to find us anywhere, you can also check out agm.cx. Again, I'm going to encourage you guys to just help us out, subscribe to us on Patreon. It's literally less than a cup of coffee a month, and it really helps us out. And thanks again for listening, guys. And until next time, keep grinding.
Okay, and then so I'd like to say we are still live. I don't know what we have for viewers at the moment. I'm not watching my count. I didn't know if there's any viewers that had any comments or questions this week on anything, or if they wanted us to speak to anything. Now is your time while we're live to speak up. So we'll give that a minute or two here. I don't know what the delay is. The delay is fair on my end on YouTube here. So, but again, if you missed the opportunity, or if you want to stop and think about it, you have the ability to find us on agm.cx, join our Discord, or reach out to us. If you don't want to post publicly, you can DM us. Whatever. I'd just love to hear other people's versions and insights on any of this stuff happening, and it also can steer the podcast a little bit more to potentially to what you want to hear about. So I guess we'll leave it at that.
Absolutely, yeah.
Not seeing any chats pop up. So again, there's still plenty of avenues to reach out to us anytime. So let us know.
Yep. Again, guys, we'll just throw it out there again. agm.cx. That's the best way to find us. Has everything you need. It has our affiliates if you want to support us through purchasing something through one of our affiliates, finding us on whatever podcasting platform that you want to find us on, visiting our website, our merch site. Everything is on agm.cx.
Finding Dagon's individual Twitch channel or Wild Twins fan Twitch channel, or Nell, if anyone can find Nell and see what the hell he's up to, see if he's coming back. We miss Nell.
And we've been working on getting Wild's OnlyFans page up and running, but it's been slow going.
I need to get permission on a couple bedtime stories. That's all you're gonna get. Wild reads you bedtime stories. Go to fuck to sleep.
With that sweet velvety voice.
That was my favorite kids book. Go to fuck to sleep.
Go the fuck to sleep.
Something like that.
All right, guys, we're going to call it there. Thank you guys for watching. If you're watching the replay of this stream, thanks for hanging on this long. We hope you enjoyed it, and we will see you next time. Later, guys.
All right, later.